Click.
Hi, good evening. Today is January 21st, and S&P 500 made new highs after hours, 38.59. And then for the rest of the day, it was trading mostly in the 20-point range and closed unchanged after the last nice 2 days rally. Nasdaq, on the other hand, made yet another all-time highs and was up over 100 points today, making new highs at 13,423. Bitcoin seems to enter some sort of corrective phase, perhaps. It was down as low as 31,000 today, and it hasn't made new highs, I think, for over a week or so. Ethereum was also down 15%, which is really not that much for it because it's been up 15% a couple of days ago and at 1,400, and today it was down at 1,200. Bonds also sold off today, maybe because the Fed Kaplan was saying that they're hoping to begin discussions of tapering later this year. And there were some good news on the virus as well. Maybe virus is celebrating the new administration too. The US has reported second highest daily toll from COVID. And at the same time, of course, Fauci said it looks like new cases might be actually plateauing. So, of course, the Fauci is supporting the new administration already, as well as the World Health Organization. WHO has just issued new guidelines on how to decide what is a COVID case. They have said new guidance saying that if you have no symptoms, but you test positive, maybe you should be retested again. And now it's up to your doctor to decide if you have COVID or not. And they have also reduced the way the test is done. The PCR test is basically amplifies a tiny speck of a virus in hopes of finding it. And the more you amplify the virus sample, the more you're likely to find it. So now World Health Organization decided to give Biden an inauguration gift and said that we can just reduce the number of amplifications, consequently reducing the number of COVID cases we have. So, and of course, HCQ is also recommended as a treatment now. Now that Trump is no longer president, we can start curing COVID. So, and Biden wants us all to wear masks until April and save lives. And also the vaccines seem to be not as effective, especially the Pfizer vaccine. In Israel, they have had a lot of vaccinations and the results so far are not as promising as Pfizer claimed in 90% range. It seems more close to 50% range. So we shall see how that works. And I think, Victor, what do you think of today? Market action.
Well, did you take any useful resonant information from our interview with Mr. Soji?
Yes, I'm gonna start hopefully roasting my own coffee beans, if that's any helpful information. But seriously, the 50 range was very much in play today, where S&P 500 was trading all around it pretty much the whole day. So that was a very good range to play off.
I see seven crosses from below and above, below 50 to above 50, and from above 50 to below 50.
Right.
And then in the evening, in the Euro hours, there was an amazingly narrow range. Every price was between 38.59 and 38.50. So I've mentioned that there are many ways to lose money when you're day trading, mainly through the VIG, through the bid-ask spread and the and the calls for margin and the commissions, the batch fills. Those are the main ways, but another important way that the strong take from the weak is by taking a move that's making the move that's large enough so that a person with limited capital can't withstand it. It either gets a margin call or it becomes too painful. Either way, gets out too early, or if it's going up, and gets out at the bottom when it's going down. So one of the most, I'd say, at least 25% of the extra money that day traders lose comes because of a wide range that forces them out. If it's going to go up, they get out too early. If it's going to go down, it's a tragedy because they get out at the bottom when their capital is depleted or when they get a margin call. And there's a certain options brokerage that's famous for, they have a very strange way of handling their margin calls. Like at 1 a.m. in the morning, you get a message from them that you have a margin call and you have 2 minutes to get a bank wire to them. No, I don't know. This is a very unpleasant and impossible hurdle to meet. But in any case, often their margin changes at their will, so that you can be going along with a 13,500 initial margin, and then maybe an 8,000 day trading. But at any moment they can raise the margin,
Right.
and then they give you, and then you get a call for 2 minutes to get them a bank wire when your bank is closed, and it's impossible to reach anyone there. So it's a very important part of the market firmament to have a wide enough range to utilize that those large swings that deplete your capital and that force you into a impossible panic situation. Just make you very uncomfortable. But when it only ranges between 9 points, that's there's no way that the strong can take from the weak on that fourth method of VIG, of making you lose. So it's always a very unusual day when it has such a small range. And of course, then it finally started. The low today was 40.
Right.
And so the total range today was 19 points. Now remember that the purpose of markets is to take money from the weak and give to the strong, and also for the market makers and the exchanges to make money. That's why their stocks do so well, and the prices of seats are, I once had 2 seats on every exchange. If I'd kept them, I think they'd be worth about $400 million now. But the commissions add to the amount they take, plus those excessive moves that deplete your capital. One thing I was looking at today is everybody is talking about how the first days of the year affect the total.
Mm-hmm.
How the first 15 days of the sports season, of the basketball season, the kind of betting that's happening, like the underdogs have won more than their usual 50%. They've won about 55% so far against the point spread, and the unders are doing very well. In the Kansas City Buffalo Bills game, I expected a really high scoring game with a lot of passing. Anyway, I looked at the stock market to see we're up. We started the year at 3750. Now we're at, they say we're up 100 points. So we're up 2% so far this year. Now it's usual for there to be some trepidation. You can't make easy money, or as I like to say, and we should have music, you can't have breakfast all day. That's from Trial by Jury of Gilbert and Sullivan. And so if you can't have the breakfast, you gotta turn to dinner. You're not a glutton if you turn your attention to dinner and
to mutton,
and more if you haven't had the breakfast, you're not a glutton, you can turn your attention to mutton. By the way, I'm looking forward to having some mutton. There's a very famous New York restaurant that specializes in mutton. And as
I
soon
don't think
as
I've ever had that.
you've never had mutton,
No.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite meat diet? What's your favorite?
Steak, no question. Steak.
You like steak?
Yeah, steak tartare, steak, anything beef, basically. The rare, the better.
Do they have much sushi in Florida?
Yeah, they do. Not as good as in New York, obviously. Although now with everything closed, probably better than New York, but
When was the last time you visited New York?
probably like 2-3 years ago, there was a wedding of one of my nephews. So
Okay, in any case, I looked at what happens when the market is up 100 points.
mhm.
And in the first 15 trading days of the year, which takes which generally takes us to the 22nd, 3rd, but I mean, it takes us to exactly where we are today. And I found that over the next 5 days, it's neutral, no tremendous revelation. It's neutral to negative. But then after those 5 days are over, it becomes bullish again. Now we've spent 1 day without a new high in the S&P. We had a weak close today. So last Friday was a down day. So everything is looking positive. Have a nice little crossover 3850. From there, it will be anyone's game. What did you notice on the political front today?
Just usually more woke news. Biden is basically killing women's sports.
How's he doing that?
Well, he's going to allow biologically male women. I'm not even sure what's the correct terms anymore, but I guess guys who used to be guys and now transitioning into women, even before they transition, I guess, they could play in there is no more, it's not allowed to discriminate against biological males who think they're females and want to play on females' teams. So given that by and large, males are physically stronger and have different muscle groups and different body structures that allows them to be better at almost all sports because of their physicality and potential, now that they can play on female teams that women could hardly win and compete against them. Which begs my question, why have male and female sports anyway? You might as well mix them all up. If people claim we're all the same, there's no differences, why are we still having two different gender teams, sports? Let's have one.
Well, I guess one of the main planks of the new administration is for diversity. They have diversity in their cabinet choices, and there were 20 executive orders that
Right.
the new administration signed on the first day, and several of them had to do with diversity and ensuring that there was as great a chance for those who are diverse to achieve success, and that there's no discrimination against them. Now, of course, this is a code word for arguing that the whites or that the white middle class is racist and is
Right.
guilty of all the problems that we have in our culture. So on one hand, there was a craving for unity, a cry out that the new administration wants unity, but everything that they did was divisive. Did you find the seating and the demeanor of Bernie Sanders? Did you feel that was any indication?
No, that was beyond hilarious. I mean, this was the most popular meme for anybody who hasn't seen. You should check out online memes with Bernie Sanders and those large mittens. It's beyond hilarious, really. And that's, to me, that's whole new administration is. they're hilarious. They're dangerous, but hilariously dangerous. They don't know what they're doing. They have no expertise. They have no qualifications other than their facial color and gender and all sorts of other nonsense. And like, here's one example. Joe Biden has appointed Renata Hesse to run the Department of Justice Antitrust Division. Meanwhile, she was the one who represented Google against antitrust litigation. So they're saying one thing, but doing the opposite. Appointing people who actually paid by Google to defend them now are going to be enforcing the rules? No, I don't think so. So even though European lawmakers are trying to make new laws to kind of rein in completely unlimited control by the tech, Apple, Google, Facebook, I don't think anything like that is going to happen in American politics.
Well, this may be very bullish for all the big techs.
Well, I think that's why NASDAQ has been going up nonstop for 3 days, yes. Meanwhile, Biden also has canceled the Keystone pipeline. We don't care about union jobs there, which apparently exist. And instead, they plan to stop drilling on federal lands and even carbon taxes on the table to pay for the infrastructure. So more taxation, more incompetence, more woke. Market loves it.
Well, do you feel that the wokes are holding their fire? We thought, I thought that the significance of Bernie Sanders sitting alone and looking forlorn is that he wasn't appointed to a prominent cabinet position. And so far the woke regime is in the back burner. There hasn't been, aside from joining the Paris Accords
I don't think so. I think Bernie Sanders does not even represent the woke anymore. I don't know what he represents. Some hilarity to me. The woke is really not, they're not really that visible. That's why people think that nothing is happening. But the woke are taking all the key positions in a mid-level administration that are going to take effect slowly but gradually. They're not even advertising this. They're going to cancel build a wall thing, even though they already paid the company to build the wall. Yet they're going to cancel it. And I wonder why not just completely undo having the wall in the first place.
Well, there's a lot of duplicity in the market, and there's a lot of duplicity in the administration there. On one hand, they're saying that they want unity, but on the other hand, everything that they do is divisive, and I think we shall see some pressure. Oh, notice how there was so much press about the Capitol riots, but there were big protests and tearing down of breaking of windows.
Oh, in Portland?
In Portland, in Seattle. No, and there wasn't any mention of that, about how that was a terrible thing, like the Capitol protests. So I think, and also we've noticed how the media is treating the new administration from the day one that the old administration came in. There was effort to impeach and to do him in, and every government employee was working against him. But
right.
That's now the they've all the media have gentled their their questioning of the president.
Right. It's complete lack of self-awareness when media claims they're completely unbiased and they all unite and repeat every word Kamala or Biden uttering and just sing praises in unison. It's kind of it's worse than in the Soviet Union back in the day. They're worse than Pravda used to be. That's the American media, and I don't know how they're gonna who's watching that and what are they gonna do when Trump is no longer there? Just praise the shoes, Kamala shoes every day, or Jill Biden's shoes, or claim that she's a doctor of some amazing talent. How long can you repeat the same thing over and over again? People are gonna get tired and bored.
Well, we won't get bored. We'll have some
Lots of market commentary.
fancy market ideas for tomorrow. And
Right. And
thank you
speaking
very
of money management, Mr. Soji had really great ideas yesterday on money management and how to break up your trades so that not to have too much capital at risk at the same time, which I thought was very interesting. So I recommend people watch that
yes,
episode.
um, if we do nothing else, we've had several good interviews, and there is so much that Mr. Soji left with us resonant. I mean, that could be a good legacy for us. Thank you very much, Mrs. Sennett.
Thank you. Have a great day.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.